G'day guys, Beach to Bush here. Today we're going to be doing a rundown on my live bait tank setup. It comes in just under $200, so if you're on a budget, this is perfect for you, especially if you're doing a bit of research on live bait tanks. You may see there's some companies who make pre-built ones for roughly $400 to $500, which is crazy, I think. The best part about this, you can build it however fits your boat. You can go bigger, smaller. This just gives you the rough idea of how to build it. But before we get into it, I want to give a huge shout out to you guys. The amount of support I've received over the last couple of videos has been crazy. Even if you only viewed the video, you liked it, or left a comment, it has been awesome. And it's only motivated me more to bring high quality content for you guys to watch. But anyway, let's get into it. So this is over here, guys. It's literally a bin from Bunnings that I've built into a live bait tank. So I guess we'll start where the water comes in. It's on an adjustable scoop. Now you want it to be on an adjustable scoop, so when you're on plane, the water actually still feeds up and into your bilge pump. As you can see, the scoop is sitting below the bottom of the boat. If you're on plane and you didn't have this, the water would be scooting underneath the bilge pump and you wouldn't be picking up any water for your live baits. Now, being an adjustable bracket, if I was to beach the boat overnight for a camping trip and I didn't want this to get damaged, I could literally unscrew that nut a little bit and slide it all up, and that way it would be clear of the sand. So the bilge pump I have installed is a 360 gallon per hour rule pump. You could install a 500 if you had a bigger live bait tank. However, I find this more than enough for what I need, and it keeps everything that I put in that live bait tank alive, and most importantly, it's super quiet. Then off the side of the bilge pump, I have a 90-degree elbow with a couple of clamps. Now, you probably don't need this, but because the run between here and where it actually enters is so small, I did it without a 90-degree elbow, and it came all the way sort of out here and looked a little bit ugly, so I've just thrown that in. But all you really need to do is run this up to the live bait tank. Now, in between the bilge pump and the live bait tank, I actually have a tap. That's because even if you're not running the bilge pump and you're just on plane going forward, that scoop will actually shoot enough water to come up here and fill this up over time. So this just allows me to turn it off when I'm not using it. Now, it then comes in to the live bait tank through a 90-degree BLA aerator fitting. You can pick these up at BCF or really any boating store. Now, what this does, it shoots the water down on top of the water in here and aerates the water, whether that be salt or fresh, and keeps everything in here alive. Now, for the water leaving the tank, it goes through a 50mm capped vent. Now, you want this sort of style so none of your live is just simply swim out the pipe and go out the back of the boat. This allows seaweed and anything you do pick up in the bilge pump to come through and flow back out, but it stops live baits from swimming out. If you're fishing with smaller live baits, all you would do is wrap a bit of mesh around this to stop them swimming out these little holes. I'll get this whole live bait tank out in a second, guys, and I'll show you the height difference as well as the size difference for your inlet and your outlet and roughly the ratio you want. Now, for the water out, it just comes through a elbow and comes straight out the back of the boat and simply falls out. Because the gap in between my steering rod and my boat is so small, I've actually heated it up and squished it down just with a heat gun. I've also added a bit of foam tape on the top and also the bottom of the pipe. That's to stop it rattling, because before that, with the vibration of the motor, it would be loud as anything. So that's just stopped that and quiet that down a bit. Now, in terms of securing the live bait tank in, I've just got a couple of D-shackles and a tie down. This just stops it bouncing out when I'm towing the boat or when I'm driving it. Now, to keep the lid closed, I've simply added a bit of bungee cord, tied it inside, and then add a little knob to stop the lid flying open. Inside the live bait tank, I usually keep a sponge just to wipe down any surfaces that get sort of slimy or fish blood all over it. The other thing I keep in here is a live bait net. This keeps your arm from getting cold. That's awesome on winter days, but also it allows you to scoop in and grab sort of the live bait that you want, whether you want a bigger one, a smaller one, and if you have a couple different species in here, say a yakka and a slimy, it allows you to pick the one that you want specifically. Plus, if you've ever had a live bait tank, you know how hard it is to get those last couple of live baits out. You chase them around, sort of grab them just, and they'll swim back out of your hands. So with the net, you simply just scoop them out and grab them. So I've just taken the live bait tank out. As you can see, the outlet sits quite a bit lower than the inlet. Now, you don't want them sitting level, otherwise the water doesn't circulate through the live bait tank very well. As well as that, you can see the outlet is quite a lot larger than the inlet. You roughly want, at minimum, twice the size of an outlet compared to the inlet. This is a 50mm piece of pipe and the inlet is 19mm. As well as that, if you have anything with a removable lid, you want to put a bit of silicone around the rim. Now, no, this hasn't stuck to it very well, but it will stop water splashing out when you go over waves or any sort of bumps. So for both the inlet and the outlet, they're a two-piece part to get through the wall of whatever container you're using. The inlet simply has a nut that you can take off, and this part actually slides out. It's quite similar for the outlet as to how I've built it. As you may be able to see, guys, this is just a threaded bit of pipe that I've glued the cap to. The other bit of pipe I've all glued together, and this is another bit of thread, and it simply just threads on. With the hole that I've drilled, I've put a little bit of silicone around it before I stuck it to the sidewall, just to stop any water flowing out below where the water's actually going to leave through the pipe. Now for the electrical wiring, it literally comes straight out of the bilge pump. It's wrapped in a little bit of cloth tape. It comes up to my battery, and the negative leg is very archaically switched. This is a female disconnect terminal, and this is a male terminal. You simply plug them in, the bilge pump starts. I've just got it like this because I didn't have a switch to run it. It just comes straight to the post of my battery box, which is fused. Now, because I only have one battery on my boat, if I'm not constantly moving around throughout the fishing session and charging it with my motor, I'll simply bring another battery and sit it on the floor and run bilge pump off that. That way I have no problems with drawing this battery down too far that it won't start the motor. Now, I do have a video of me using it on the water. I'll play that for you guys now and show you how it actually works in real time. As you can see, guys, this is how it works on water. This is a cheap just net that I got from Hot Tackle, actually. It's literally called landing net bait floating. You can pick them up from Hot Tackle. I don't know if anywhere else sells them, but it's awesome because the handle's always floating in there. You can also have it outside if it's loaded with live bait. However, you can easily see it, quickly grab it. Awesome, I think. As you can see, the water doesn't come up over the rim, and as quick as the water pumps in, it flows out of this cap and just flows out the back perfectly. So guys, that's a rundown of my DIY live bait tank setup. You may need to change it a bit just to suit your boat specifically as to where you mount it. As well as, if you're not able to mount it near a sidewall where you're able to run a hard pipe out, you can get a flexible tube and run it out the side of your boat similar to a bilge pump. All the parts for this specific build are in the description below, and if you guys need any help at all, leave a comment and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Once again, huge thank you to all the support I've received in the last couple of videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.